So I was sacked, which I was happy about, and then I was rehired, and I was unhappy. And I currently am unhappy about it, and I'll explain why. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Tabby at Glossop Gardening Services, and let's get straight into it. So like I said, I was sacked, and I was really happy about that, and then I was rehired, and I just thought, I obviously went ahead with it, and I thought I've made a big mistake, and it could have been sort of a blessing in disguise. So to set the scene, it's the start of the season. I get a phone call. Hi, the usual phone call to get a quote. I'm looking for someone to do some regular maintenance on my garden. Like, great, where are you? Can you do this day? And then I go around and I basically do my quote, give the price, and then we get booked in. Whilst I'm doing the quote, this lady, she's basically telling me how she's got a gardener. She hasn't cancelled him, but he's just stopped turning up. He hasn't been coming. She can't get hold of him. And at the time, I was just thinking, well, that's really strange. Maybe he's just done a runner. Like, I don't know why. It all makes sense to me now, like what's happened. Yeah, so it's like this gardener's disappeared. She needs a new one. And that's that. So we get booked in. And on the first visit, she's not there. She goes on these it's like, do you know when you see coaches and they go into like places like, I don't know, Whitby or Scarborough or just like coastal areas, and they'll go for a few days. She goes on a lot of these coach trips, could be 2-3 times a month. So a lot of the time she's not there when I'm doing the visit. So the first visit, I do the front, and just to explain what the garden's like. So the front, there's 2 patches of grass. There's the path going up straight up to the front door, 2 patches of grass either side, and then there's a border, like a soil border around the outside of them, and there's absolutely nothing growing in this border. It's completely bare. There's no weeds, there's no plants, and that's the way she wants it. All I have to do is go and cut the grass, edge it, and then I just ruffle up the soil. I don't turn it over like with a fork, or I don't rotivate it. I just ruffle it up to keep like any little sprouting weeds, just to sort of loosen them off, and then they don't really grow. And it's the same in the back. Again, there's a path straight down the centre of the garden, 2 small patches of grass either side, and then there's a soil border round the side. And again, just ruffle it up. That's that. It's dead simple. It's a really simple job. So on the first visit, the customer's not there. The neighbour comes out, and we're talking. It's an elderly woman, neighbour, but they don't get on. Same with the other neighbour. They just despise each other. I can kind of understand why. She comes out and she says, just to let you know, she's been for about 10 gardeners. And I thought, God, that's really strange. And then she says, yeah, she's really, really nasty when she wants to be. Obviously, I hadn't seen this at this point. Like, she's sort of nice as pie to me. She said, yeah, the previous gardener used to come, and apparently he's had to cancel for, it could have been any reason. But what he said, he knocked on, he sort of said, I'm going to have to drop this one from my round because it's the only one in this area, and it doesn't make sense for me to come all the way out here for this one job. Basically, it's not financially viable, which makes sense, fair enough. And apparently she just switched, calling him all sorts, every name under the sun. And even after he'd gone, because it was still that like, you can't do this job anymore, just phoning him all the time, leaving voicemails, all sorts. And this neighbour's telling me this, and I'm thinking, what the bleeding hell have I got myself into? Yeah, and that was that. A few more things about this customer. She'll ring you. She doesn't ring you in work hours. So sort of, if you ring me 9 till 5, 9 times out of 10 I'll answer unless I can't hear my phone. The best way to contact me is to just send me a text, and then I tend to just get back to it when I get a chance. but she'll ring you whenever. She'll ring you at 6:30 in the morning. She's rang me on a Friday night. I was getting ready in my house. I was going to go for a few pints with my friend. My friend was at the house, in my house at the time. My phone starts going off, and it's 10:30. It's 10:30 at night, and I sort of show him. I say, like, "Have you seen this?" And he's like, "Yeah, who's that?" I say, "It's one of my customers. She phones me and just sort of whenever." And a lot of the time, because at that point I'd just sort of stopped answering, because you'll answer the phone and it'll just be, there was absolutely no point in ringing me. It's usually to just double check that I'm coming on Monday, and then she'll just be going on about this coach trip she's on. Yeah, which is fair enough. If you're ringing me in work hours, I'll listen to it if I need to. But 10:30 at night, 6:30 in the morning, weekends, Sundays, she'll ring you. And then one time, I didn't really know this, but I found out so I'm at the house doing the garden as I usually do. She's on one of her trips away. Do the front, do the back, and then I sort of leave. And as soon as I get in the van, I start it, I drive off, phone starts ringing. She's ringing me. And I thought, oh, maybe I've forgotten something. So I answer, I'm like, "Hi, you okay?" And she says, "You've done a good job." And I kind of thought, "Oh, right. Oh, are you at the house? You're not away on, like, wherever you said you was going?" She said, "Oh no, I was watching you on the camera." Oh, I kind of wanted to say, sort of like, "How long have you been watching?" But yeah, she's got like a Ring doorbell, front of the house, back of the house, and she watches the whole visit. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. If you sort of check, I haven't got a Ring doorbell, so I don't know. But if you sort of, maybe you get a notification, you have a quick look. Oh yeah, it's a gardener. Put it down. But no, she watches the whole visit on a phone wherever she is, and I think that is a little bit strange. But I've kept this one because, one, I heard when the neighbour said, like, once someone dropped the visit, she got really nasty, and I thought, if I kind of drop her as a customer, am I going to get phone calls all the time, voicemails? Is she going to leave a bad review that's sort of a false review on my page or my Google page? So I've kind of just kept her on, because I haven't really had any issues so far, other than the one I'm going to tell you about. I didn't have any issues. I kind of just go do it. I get paid when she gets back, and then that's that. I don't really. I've figured out a way to sort of just have her there as a customer without all the drama that sort of comes with her. But yeah, one time I do the visit, and then a couple of days later she rings me and she says, "Did you do the borders in the back?" And I say, "Yeah, I do the borders every time I come. Unless sometimes," she says, "just don't do the front this time, just do the back." And I kind of adjust the price a little bit just because I save a bit of time. I said, "Yeah, I did." And she says, "You haven't." I knew I definitely did. I says, "No, I did." And she says, "No, you haven't. So when you come and pick the money up, I'm not paying for the borders at the back." And I kind of just said, "Well, fair, like, fine, fair enough. I'm not an argumentative person, so I just thought, okay, basically, if you don't want to pay for the back borders, it is what it is." And then she says, I've actually got one of my neighbours to take over the garden now." And when she said that, I thought, amazing, amazing. I haven't had to give her an excuse as to why I'm dropping her as a customer. She's kind of done it for me, and I thought, that's brilliant. I kind of said, all right, okay, so what I'll do is I'll just come and sort of collect the money that's owed, and then we just kind of part ways. You've got your neighbour to sort it out, and that's that, really. So it comes to me picking this money up. I go and knock on. She seems all right. She doesn't answer the door, being really hostile. But it kind of got brought up about the back borders, and I don't know if I said something or she said something. I think it come because when she was paying, I think she said, "I'm only giving you this much because you haven't done the back borders." And I sort of said, because at this, like, I knew she watches me on the cameras. I said, "You can check your camera and you'll see me go around the borders with my fork or whatever. Sometimes I do it with a rake and just ruffle them up." I said, "You can check your cameras." And she says, "Yeah, I've checked the cameras. You didn't do it." And I just thought, okay, whatever. And then she gives me the money, and I sort of say, "Right, well, best of luck with your neighbour sorting the garden." And she goes, "I think I'm gonna try you one last time." And I should have said, I can't. I've already filled the slot. Like, that's that. But I sort of said, "Right, okay. So when do you want the next one?" Um, and that's sort of that, really. So I've still got her as a customer, but the job, like I said, it's so much hassle. Like, there's so many rules. Um, Another thing, once I go over the borders, she goes out with a tub, and I mean a big tub of black pepper, and she scatters it all over the borders. And from what I've gathered, it's for the cats. The cats not like black pepper. I don't know. I don't think it's working because there's always a few cat messes in the border. But yeah, she despises cats. The amount of black pepper she must go through is ridiculous. She must account for 10% of the black pepper sales in my area. My question to you guys, it's kind of a couple of things. Do you have a customer like this that you've kept on? Have you dropped them? Is there someone like this and you've dropped them as a customer? And then how have you gone about it, or how do you think I should go about it? Because I've got a couple of options. I can either do what the last gardener did, tell her, unfortunately, I can't. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm panicking so much. I think it's because I'm sort of like a people pleaser, and I try and keep everybody happy. And even like the bad customers or the awkward customers, I can kind of get on with them in a way. I just kind of change. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking, how should I drop her as a customer, basically? It sounds really awful, but maybe I'm just overthinking it. But the reason is, one, she didn't pay me as much as she should have for the work that was complete, but she said I didn't do it. And that's what I said. Just remembered. So when she was away, when I go over these borders, they just get ruffled up. So if she's away for another 5 days, that ground's going to settle and not look compacted, but it's not going to look like it's been freshly done, like you're seeing it, like I see it on the day. I didn't like the fact that she just dropped the money, and I sort of accepted it, and then I've still kept her on as a customer. But what I'm asking basically is, how should I go about dropping her as a regular maintenance customer? Should I do it like the last gardener's done, or one of them? Because there's two that I know of and how they've gone about it. So there's the one that she couldn't get hold of, that just sort of disappeared. And I think that's his way. That's how he's gone about it. He's just disappeared. Because she kept telling me, even after I'd done a few visits, she was still trying to ring him and get hold of him, but she couldn't get through. And I just thought, he must be seeing his phone ringing still, like a couple of months down the line, thinking this is an absolute nightmare. So should I go about it that way and just sort of disappear, or should I sort of tell her this is? I can't say I'm retiring like a lot of them do because I'm 31. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm retiring, so I can't continue. That isn't going to work. What else can I say? I could try the other excuse that the other gardener used, where this is the only one in the area. It's not financially viable for me to continue. What I think I might do is carry on till the end of the season. We're close anyway. Only going to be like 2-3 more visits, maybe. Depends what the weather's going to do. And then sort of next year, just disappear. It's not really it's not really me that I'd rather tell her, but what I can't be bothered with is the abuse that's going to follow. Because I know it's going to come, because I have seen her get nasty in front of me to a neighbour. It was like going at it, and I was kind of just there like, I'm just here to cut your grass. Like, why am I involved in this? Yeah, they was going at it. The other one wasn't really saying much. I think she's actually okay, but my customer was sort of saying all sorts, like, I'm going to punch your head in and stuff like this. I kind of just said, like, I'm just going to go carry on doing what I'm doing, then I'll be out of here before it gets a bit violent. Yeah. What do you think? I know I've been stupid and I've retook the job, and I'm still continuing with it, but I just want to know, like, how should I go about it to get this customer off my round? I could sort of finish the season, say, yeah, I'll start up in sort of March next year or something. Block a number. Honestly, I don't really know what to do. Yeah, I'd appreciate any advice whatsoever. Yeah, I look forward to seeing some of the comments and what you suggest. In other news, I have got a new tool on the way. It is a handheld blower. I won't tell you what brand it is, but I'll give you a slight clue. It's not Still. Gone for something different this time. It's pretty recommended. I've seen it a lot on YouTube and stuff. But yeah, we'll see. I'll sort of do an unboxing video about that and maybe like a test and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it is a handheld blower, but yeah, I can let you know what I think about it and stuff like that. As always, any likes, shares, comments, subscribes are massively appreciated. And I look forward to hearing some of your thoughts in the comments. I will see you on the next one. Cheers.